Hello, everyone. Welcome to the home of all things ballroom dance, where we share weekly technique videos of things you can work on at home. We share fun real life stories about the world of ballroom dance, as well as kind of cultural information and tips on how to be a better dancer in general. So today's topic, my least favorite group classes to teach as a professional ballroom dancer. So the first, I would say most challenging class for me to teach are ones where I have students that show up with a wide variety of skill levels. It just makes it very difficult for me to give helpful information to everyone when we have a PhD in the room with a kindergartner. It just makes it very challenging. As a matter of fact, when I very first turned pro in my state, no one offered levels of ballroom dance class, which I thought was insane. They lumped everyone in together. So I was the first one to do, okay, no, we're going to have beginning, intermediate, advanced, advanced 2, competitors, pre-approved, attendance only. And that's now the norm in my state. Okay, number 2. I detest when leads come into my class and try to teach the ladies. Okay, gentlemen, the lady is paying to learn from the professional, not you. Okay, you usually make the lesson more stressful for them. Then they can't pay attention to the teacher. Okay, then you make it less likely for them want to return or even dance with you. So this is a really common complaint I hear from ladies about any group class. So leads, hold your tongue, and if you want to teach, become a teacher and sell your lessons, okay? Or in a social dance, offer to teach people for free, but don't just teach them, okay? Okay, number 3. I dislike when competitors attend group classes. Now, I do teach groups for competitors, but what I dislike is when competitors come and they work on their own choreography, completely superfluous to what I am teaching that day in the group class. So if you want to practice, take your own time to do that. Otherwise, you're just distracting from everyone else learning in the class, okay? That's not the purpose of the group class. Okay, number 4. I strongly dislike when one student regularly shows up to my group class and commandeers the content, meaning they constantly ask questions that only apply to their dancing, okay? Or even if they think it applies to everyone else. When one person is asking literally 20 times the questions of everyone else, and I have to spend 80% of the class answering your questions, it's very disrespectful to everyone else's time there, okay? Because everyone's paying the same for that class, okay? And it helps me as the teacher if I can identify what overall is going to benefit the class. That's my job. I'm a pro, been doing this a long time. And your questions, honestly, are more likely. Please feel free to ask questions, but if you find yourself asking question after question after question about a specific figure or a figure that we're not even addressing in the group class, hold your tongue, book the private, okay? Okay, number 5, it's very stressful to me when people substantially below the published skill level of the class show up for that group. So I understand as beginners, you're so eager and excited to get in the intermediate class, the advanced class, but honestly, it makes teaching very difficult for me because I don't want to leave you in the dust, okay? Nor do I want to bore the people that actually are at that skill level. My suggestion, if you're showing up, say, to the very first time to an instructor's intermediate international tango class, give them a call and say, hey, you know my skill level. Am I appropriate for this class? Or what are we going to teach in this class? And you can assess, okay, do I know these figures and I just want to get better? Or is this all new info for me? Okay. Next, worst dance class. I'm not really keen on sharing floor space in a group, but I'm happy to do it if I, as the group class teacher, have control of the music. Why is this? Group classes are substantially more challenging to teach than private lessons, and certainly very difficult to do and compared to just practicing with someone. So when someone else is in the room blaring music and I'm trying to talk over my group class to maintain their attention, which is hard enough, it's a skill in itself, let alone screaming over your blaring music. When I've been talking all day as a teacher, I don't sit and have a desk job like you where I can scream for an hour. I'm raising my voice all day long, being as articulate and clear as possible. Many of the older students are hard of hearing, so I cannot talk in hushed tones. So throw me a bone. If you're in the room practicing, do not even think about touching that music. Or if you're teaching a private, stay on the edge of the room and play as little music as possible, or even better, wear earbuds and play your own music, because I certainly can't outfit 50 people with earbuds. It's much easier for you teaching the private in that room, okay? Also, if I'm teaching a group class in that studio, guarantee I am bringing in more money for you than that private lesson you're teaching or that small floor fee you're paying to practice there. So without me bringing home the bacon to that studio, you will have no place to practice. So be respectful of the people who are in the room teaching that group class, okay? For me, when I used to teach in a very full studio, what really bugged me was people showing up 1, 2, 3 hours early to their dance, to their class, to watch my classes. Not only that, many of them would take notes. Not only that, many of them would take videos. Not only that, many of them would dance along with the class. Like, okay, I'm sorry, if you want to take my class, pay for it. I'm not blind, I'm not dumb. Nor are my students. It's very disrespectful of them who are paying for this time and attention for you to be futzing along for free. It's not right. Please don't do it. It also, I don't know if you realize, when you're sitting in at that group class, it makes it very difficult, if not impossible, for me to give constructive feedback to my group class students. Here's why. Particularly me as a professional, the way I teach, I love giving individual feedback in a group class. And I don't want to embarrass someone by saying, oh, your standing leg action is horrible, you're breaking that sideline, in front of someone who's also not receiving that equal, I'll call it, helpful feedback. You might think of it as negative feedback, but it's an opportunity to grow. But I'm just not going to be able to be as honest with them and helpful when I'm worried about embarrassing them in front of you, staring, or even worse, taking videos or taking notes. And of course, the worst yet, and I have had very few people do this, but I've seen it happen and I've kicked them out, where they have the gall to come for free and then sit and criticize the people they're dancing, when honestly, that person watching couldn't dance their way out of a paper bag. So anyway, those are my least favorite group classes to teach, and it's probably the same for other pros too. So thanks for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow. Hope you thought that was interesting. Toodles!